Like all things skincare, there's a ton of different options out there for different money and with different active ingredients. Today we're talking about salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. Here are the differences. Actually, first let's talk about the similarities. So they're both accessible because they're available over the counter without a prescription, and they're both affordable. They're also both a great place to start for mild acne. If you're using either of these products, you're on the right path. So here are the differences. Salicylic acid has better keratolytic properties, meaning it breaks down old dead skin cells. It can help open up pores, meaning that it's great for whiteheads and blackheads, what we call comedonal acne. It's the typical whiteheads and blackheads you see. This has better keratolytic properties. Now this also transfers into issues if you have skin texture and things like that. If you got bumpy, irregular skin, salicylic acid is gonna help a bit more than benzoyl peroxide on this front. Salicylic acid usually comes anywhere from 0.5 to 2% concentration. Now it's nice that we got these options, like here's the Vichy one. This one is 0.5% concentration, so it's very gentle, it's mild if you have super sensitive skin. Here's the 2% from Inky List. So both really good options. I actually favor using a 2% benzoyl peroxide if you're not super sensitive because there's low contact time. You're putting it on your skin, you're lathering up, and you're rinsing it away. So there's not a lot of contact time for that active ingredient to dry out your skin. But if you have super sensitive skin, maybe you want to aim for a 0.5% concentration. Benzoyl peroxide also comes in a bunch of different flavors. So it can come anywhere from about a 2.5% benzoyl peroxide all the way up to 10% benzoyl peroxide. So for benzoyl peroxide, I like a 2.5 to 5% concentration for the face because it's a little less drying and irritating. It can be just as effective. If you're using it on your chest or your back, then a 10% benzoyl peroxide is a great option. That skin's a little less sensitive to dryness and irritation, so you can afford to do it there. So how is benzoyl peroxide different? So when you think of acne that has pus bumps, it's very inflammatory, it's tender, then you want to think a little bit about infection like Cutibacterium acnes, which is the bacteria that causes acne. Salicylic acid doesn't fight bacteria. However, benzoyl peroxide cleansers do. So benzoyl peroxide does fight this, and it's also a bit anti-inflammatory. So they work in similar ways, but benzoyl peroxide has more of an antibacterial nature to it. The other key thing to keep in mind with benzoyl peroxide is it does bleach dark fabric. So if you're drying off with dark towels, it's gonna leave a bleach mark there, it's gonna leave a discoloration. So that's something you definitely wanna know about. It's something that salicylic acid won't do. Another good thing to look out for is that benzoyl peroxide does interact with some prescription acne medications like tretinoin. So you cannot mix these things. However, if you're using one of my favorite over-the-counter acne retinoids like adapalene, these are actually formulated together in some products and they're perfectly stable. So adapalene and BP do mix, but tretinoin and BP do not mix. Now, no matter what product you pick, I would go with either benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid. You definitely don't need both in your regimen. If you add both of them in your regimen, it's probably going to be a little drying and irritating. Either of these treatments are great. Start with them once a day and stay consistent. You don't need to immediately start using them twice a day because you might get too dry and irritated. And as you know, consistency is everything when treating acne. Stick with it 6 to 8 weeks. You're going to see your best results after that time. I've talked a little bit about tretinoin and some retinoids in this video. If you want to know a little bit more about retinols that are available over the counter and 3 of my favorites, I'll link the video right here. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week.